Hey, what's going on YouTube? Or Storm here with another little discussion topic for you guys today. First, before I start this video, I apologize for the quality. I'm using my laptop camera. It's not the most optimal camera for doing videos, so I apologize for that. I know I've had a lot of you people complaining about my camera angles and such. I'd ask you to please refrain from that for at least one video. So with that out of the way, this topic today I wanted today, it's a little bit of a rant PSA type thing. I'm getting tired of people just hating on people's deck choices. Like, you can't play a deck if it's not meta or it's not, it's not good. And I think this all started from our community group where a guy asked, okay, should I build Yosenju Kaijus or should I build Sylvans? A guy said, quote, you cannot go X and 3 with either decks. You might as well just, he basically, and you might as well just build Sylvans. But that's, in a roundabout way, he's basically saying you can't get a Nats qualifier with either deck, so they suck, which is not necessarily true. You can get Fluffles. Recently, there were at two different regionals, there were 2 top 16 Fluffle players. If you can get a top 16 with Fluffles, there are a lot of decks you can get a top 16 with. I think this whole concept that if you don't play a certain type of deck, you're bad or you're not good at Yu-Gi-Oh! This whole concept just absolutely aggravated me. Now, me personally, I've had this experience going to regionals. In one of my regional matches, I believe it was during Duelist Alliance format, I was playing a guy who was playing Counter Fairy Artifacts, so he was playing my good old Battle and Boxers. At the event, I remember picking up a Thought Ruler Archfiend, and this card kind of comes into this duel. So I lose game 1, go into game 2, win game 2, game 3, I remember going into Stardust Dragon early game. You got rid of it pretty easily. I went into then later on I got Light Imprisoning Mirror. He ignitioned it, and late game in the duel, game 3, I went into Thought Ruler Archfiend, put Kaiser Coliseum on the field, and started attacking over and over, and he could not do anything. After the match, midway through the match, game 3, he scoops, picks up his cards, scoops. Not only will he not shake my hand, he literally says, quote, people should not play decks that don't top. Coming from a Counter Fairy Artifact player, I find this statement not only to be ironic, but wrong and hilarious. So anyway, this concept that you can't... First off, I think the concept that you can't do well with the majority of decks at a regional event is completely false. Fluffle, 2 guys just took Fluffles to top 16. I think if you're going to be building Rogue, you obviously need to build a really, really good side deck. You need to see that side deck, and if your deck does it what it does on a consistent enough basis, you can get you a Nats qualifier. Like I said, Fluffles are a primary example of a deck that is Rogue, but it still does really well at the regional level. And I do think a lot of other decks can do well. Like, look at Madolche is another primary example last format where Madolche went to top 8 at a couple of regionals. Not surprising, Tiramisu is still a really, really powerful card. And Tiramisu is never going to be a bad card. I just think this whole concept that if you're not playing meta, you're bad, or you're not playing meta, you're not playing, or if a deck can't get a Nats qualifier, it's automatically bad, is absolutely not only false, but wrong, and it's obvious pretenses. I think there are a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players who just automatically assume that because you're not playing a certain type of deck, you're bad at the game. And that's absolutely wrong. You can play anything from Cosmos to Battle and Boxers, and if you build it right, you can beat those meta decks. I just think I'm kind of getting sick and tired of these people acting like they're better than people like me who play Rogue because they play meta decks. I think it's I think these people just, frankly, they need to just stop because it's ridiculous. I think this whole concept that you can't get a Nats qualifier if a deck assuming a deck cannot get a Nats qualifier is not only is stupid in and of itself, but that shouldn't be why you build a deck or not. I just think the whole concept is absolutely asinine. And I think you just let people play whatever decks they want. Even if they want to play Charmers or Ice Barriers, let them do it. Because believe it or not, those decks can be good if built properly. Just Ice Barriers don't have a ton of synergy, obviously, and Charmers, you have to run stuff like the Perform Ages to make them even close to viable. They aren't good decks, but a lot of people, if you're dedicated enough to a deck, you can find a way to make it work. And I just think this whole non-meta player from these players is stupid. And I think it's aggravating in the extreme. And I'm not saying they should stop playing meta. I'm just saying they should stop hating on people who don't play the type of decks they play. So anyway, guys, as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching my video today. Really appreciate it when you guys watch my videos. Tune in on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you like what you saw from this video, please subscribe. This is Storm signing out.